Hello, welcome to Ross and Y, and welcome to a pretty mad day. We're in a car park that's packed with incredible cars and incredible motorcycles. I'm obviously obsessed with the Mark II Escort over there, but the event we're on is the launch of the smallest cog, and that's Richard Hammond's workshop for classic cars, classic bikes, and crazy projects. He asked us at Bike World to come along and help out represent the motorcycle side of that. So we're surrounded by TV cameras, TV crews, there's all sorts of chaos going on, and we're here to enjoy the event and have a little wobble out on our two classic bikes. We've got my wife's Honda Cub and my BMW R60/7. Unfortunately, our director has stolen the Beamer, so I get to wobble around on the little moped for the day, but it's going to be great fun nonetheless.
What we want to hear about is the cars, the day, the workshop, how you're feeling, what it's like to be driving.
Thank you, everybody. There's a tiny chance this could work and we'll all get back. I mean, it is tiny. Really tiny chance.
Lucky for me, it's a 30 limit. I'm just trying to make I lent my bike to Al, and Al's now complaining that it makes a funny noise. But so we've had to disconnect the rev counter because he's precious and a big wuss, and so now I'm just going to zip tie it out of the way so it doesn't get lost. So today we were asked to represent motorcycling, the classic motorcycling world, at Richard Hammond's launch of the smallest cog. Obviously, to do that, we racked our brains, we thought about what would be the perfect bike. Honda Cub, what more could you want? We balanced that out with an R60. We didn't polish them, we didn't clean them, we took them apart halfway through the day. I feel we've represented classic motorcycling well today. We had a nice little ride around Ross on Y with all the classic cars, a few more turning up now, nice little E-Type. It was absolutely breathtaking. The whole town stopped to see all these cars and bikes and everyone trooping through the town centre. It's really nice to be a part of and exciting to be a part of something special like this. We've now kind of convened at the workshop, so we're going to get a little tour of the workshop, see what's going on inside the smallest cog, and have a chat with Richard himself and try and convince him that he needs more motorbikes in his life. Free pizza, couldn't be better.
Hello,
Hi,
Chris.
Richard.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having us
You'll be
down
glad to
today.
see there's some two-wheel stuff in here. It's
I tell
not
you what,
only
I
four wheels.
felt a bit lonely when I got here this morning, but
Yeah, well, it was a heroic effort, by the way, on the C70. I noticed you drew a lot of attention going through Ross, annoyingly. There's people in some really fun. Everybody loves them.
amazing.
Those things moved the world.
you know what? For me, it's like the Mark II Escort of the bike world. Everyone had one.
Yep.
Everyone's nan had one.
Yeah.
And they were cheap and disposable.
Well, they
and
got
now,
the whole world moving. There's no doubt about it. They're important.
So talk to us a bit about bikes. I mean, obviously, I've obviously watched you, as most people have for years, and championed your cause on every TG episode ever, because you're the guy who talks about bikes on telly, and there's not very much of that. Here, obviously, today there's loads of cars. There's a good few bikes. What bikes have you got yourself, and what are your kind of favourite ones?
Bike-wise, I've got quite a few. And I've loved I'm bikes before I'm cars, personally. That's why I've never made bikes work as much as work is cars. Bikes have kept for me.
Yeah.
And it all happened because when I was 5, I worked out how many days with my dad until I could drive a car. And then I realised it was 365 fewer until I could ride a bike, and I became obsessed. So at 16, got myself an MTX50. Second-hand, had a snapped side stand, so you had to lean it against the wall. And nobody in my family could ride a bike. I had to get a library book out and teach myself how to ride from a library book. So it's always been bikes for me, and I'm still a firm believer. well, this sounds a bit mean, but if you haven't got your full bike license by the time you're 17, you're banned. So now I'm very lucky. I've ended up with loads and loads of it. I mean, this is one of mine. One of the more flamboyant ones.
Yes.
46 Indian Chief. Have you ever ridden a foot clutch bike?
So I wanted to ask you about this. Yeah.
Oh man.
How's it to ride?
It's fine. It's left foot clutch, left hand gears. When they were new, left hand throttle, right hand advanced retard.
Wow. But now the advance is on
Because
the...
they were all ridden into walls. So now it has been flipped. I've got right hand throttle. It's all right. It's anybody who's not ridden one. It's the funniest thing in the world. Is they set off, left the clutch with the foot, and then you just hear hysterical laughing. Because it's fun, but I think they're also realising I'm probably going to die here because if something goes wrong, how do I stop? Yeah, and the rough at the other end of the scale, that rough superior over there, I'm very lucky. I mean, my job, I lucked out. I'm working in an industry where you have to be very, very lucky, and I was. So it's afforded me the chance to own some spectacular bikes.
Yeah.
So I still modern stuff. I mean, the only modern bike I've got. BMW R 1250 R 1200 RT,
Yeah.
which I use for London. It's the ugliest thing in the world. One of the best bikes ever built. I'll do 1,000 miles a week on it quite regularly. And it's fine. It's ugly as hell. But then at the weekend, Ducati's 900 SS, old black and gold one, beautiful bike. 916.
So that's the start of my era. That was when I was a kid. The 916s were
bit before your time, Gixxer 1100, which for me was the end of the sort of capacity war when Japan just went bigger, 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 got to 1100, and then realised it's getting carried away. That's a lovely bike. ZXR 750, which again I just always wanted one. There's a CBX around here somewhere. That's mine.
Oh, the 6-cylinder one we saw.
Yeah.
Right,
Great big
yeah.
wall
Beautiful.
of cylinders coming towards you.
Yeah.
But they all get ridden. All my bikes are tax insured, ridden and used.
So do you think any bike stuff's likely to come
Yeah.
through here as
Oh
well?
God, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see no reason why not. Why wouldn't we? Oh, we totally. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. And I'd love to do some of my. One of the reasons of doing this business, what I'll get out of it, because I'll never make any money out of it. It's just costing me money at the moment. But I'll get the chance to do stuff myself. And if I could come in here on a Sunday morning, remember when you were a kid? I did a GP 100, and I restored it myself. Painted it out of a rattle tin, flipped the bars upside down to turn them into clip-ons, and I set off from the little road where I used to live in Richmond, North Yorkshire, pulled out and was immediately hit by a Fiesta, bounced off the bonnet, destroyed. But the thing then was never having, you'd get a library book out and it was full of pictures, always American books on how to maintain your motorcycle. And they'd have like all the right tools and a stand to put the bike on. I was like, what? All I had was an old box spanner from a bicycle.
And a set of milk crates.
That was it. Whereas to be able to come in here and take my time on a Sunday morning, not for a client's bike, for my bike, I totally will do that, yeah. I've got a few candidates at home that I'm thinking of. I'd like to bring in and just take my time and turn out as works of art.
Yeah.
Still riding, they've got to move. But, yeah.
Well, Richard,
It's going to be really exciting. It's a proper voyage. I've never been more thrilled about anything I've done.
Yeah.
Because this is an industry that's based on skills. It's not based on wanton consumption of materials or energy or parts. It's about make, do and mend. And so it's about people. It's about skills. It's human.
And
I love it.
I've grown up watching little places like this disappear.
Yeah.
And little small engineering firms drop off the map because the profits aren't in
Well,
it.
because let's be honest, if you've got to earn money out of it, you're not going to. I'm not going to. I know I'm not going to earn money out of this. If it can pay for itself, it's doing enough for me. And it has the capacity for me to sneak in on a Sunday and have a go myself. And everybody wins.
Well, all the best with it, Rick.
Well, thanks for coming along to see us. Really appreciate you coming.
Hopefully we'll get to pop in and
And-
see some more of your bikes.
Anytime, you know where we are, just drop round. And seeing your heroic effort riding that little C70. Honestly, you've got to turn more heads on that little bloody thing than people in flash cars.
Yeah,
It's great to
everyone
see.
loves a cub.
Yeah, of course they do. They have to. I do have one at home. And the boys saw yours and said, oh, we need one of those as our workshop runabout. And I said, well, all right, I'll bring it in. Yeah.
And it will save money because it will be very economical for parts.
Thinking like a businessman. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Richard.
Pleasure.
So here's the thing, it's been a bit of a funny old day this, because it's definitely been a car-centric day. Smallest cog, their bread and butter is going to be restoring classic cars, keeping old-fashioned, old-school cars on the road, repaired, running, and keeping people enjoying them. And when I'm not being Chris from Bike World, that's something I like doing. I like cars as well as bikes. But what I think is really good is Richard Hammond, obviously you've all heard of him, he's massively into bikes as well. And he said to us himself, he's bikes first, then cars, but cars is work for him. And I really like the fact that we as a motorcycling community have got someone in car world, someone in the spotlight for that stuff, with a voice for motorcycles, talking about bikes, fighting off your Clarksons and your Mays and saying, no, bikes are awesome. I love that, and I've got a lot of time for that. And chatting with him about a few bikes around here today, it's clear that he does really like them and likes riding them. Hopefully, we're going to get a chance to teach him to wheelie at some point in the future, because everyone needs to know how to wheelie a motorcycle. But all in all, I think Smallest Cog is going to be a really cool place for car people. There will be some bikes here, so we're going to keep our tabs, and anything interesting that comes through, for sure we'll pounce on. But it's been a great day, and the best bit has been the fact that the little Honda Cub got more attention than the Jensen Interceptors, than the Mark II Escorts, or any of the Bentleys. Which proves once and for all, tiny bikes are awesome.
Oh, one more, you're right next to us.